So here's an exciting one for me. I mean, I haven't looked at a smartphone from Sony in a very long time. I couldn't even remember when Will asked me. And it's kind of unfortunate because they've been in the game for a long time. Not just a smartphone game, but the technology game, the gaming games, PlayStation, TV everybody wanted once upon a time was the Trinitron. I had the mini disc player, the Walkman changed the game for me and others. It's like, I love to see Sony still doing it. And especially when they've got a product like this one, which has been requested a lot by you guys. I'm excited for it because it's a different take. Unlike the other manufacturers that are just going, all in on this idea of screen to body ratio, they're like, let's go with a different aspect ratio. Let's try to put as many pixels as possible into a 6.5-inch screen that anyone's ever done before. Let's just have a different approach. So that's why I'm excited for this. And I'm also excited because they're doing a promo. These are my favorite headphones in the world right now. The WH-1000XM3. They're doing a deal where you get these for free when you order this. That's an important thing to know about because this is not a cheap smartphone. This is gonna retail for $950 USD. So it puts it in that premium price tier. But if you wanna lower the sting of that MSRP, those are $350 noise canceling headphones. And in my opinion, they're worth it. I've used them for a while and I love them. So if you were in the market for both of these things, you could imagine your price point on the smartphone having a significant subtraction from a value perspective. Instead of having to spend $950 and another $350, you could look at the effective price of the phone going all the way down to $600. I'll link Amazon down in the description if you want to check it out, but it should work at a number of different retailers on the pre-order currently. Okay, some specs on the back. 12 plus 12 plus 12 megapixel triple camera setup. You gotta have it this day and age, 2019, especially if you want $900 for a smartphone. 8 megapixel selfie camera, 4K HDR OLED display, 6.5 inches. That's gotta be the highest pixel density I've ever looked at in a smartphone, I would say. 3330 milliamp hours. Of course, we've seen devices 4,000 plus, so I'm not too excited about that. Snapdragon 855 IP65/68. Okay, this could be the next smartphone that I switch to. This could be my next experiment. Might very well. Which one did I get? Oh, I got the purple one. It's the Toronto Raptors purple one. You see that, Jack? Flip it over to the front. 21:9 cinema wide. So this brings us to the next hot topic, maybe the hottest topic with this particular smartphone. You do not see 21:9 smartphones. That said, if you look at a service like Netflix, for example, they claim a significant portion of their content is in that aspect ratio. For the time being, it's mostly cinema content in which you'll be able to watch the way it was originally intended. Now, why would you want to go with this aspect ratio? Well, what it allows you to do is have a 6.5-inch display, but in a form factor that you can hold super easy. As you can see, it's not a reach for me. It's just a confident grip. It's a really interesting aspect ratio. Could it be the future? Quite possibly. But for now, it's one of the rare devices available as far as a smartphone is concerned. We've seen it in monitors and things like that in the past. Now, they also claim there's some Dolby Atmos going on in here. I'll test the sound. That's what I do. USB Type-C connector on the bottom, capable of fast charge. That's a must. You have the speaker unit also in that location right there. Over on this side of the device, gets a bit fancy. Actually, there's a few buttons here. This is the interesting one. It is a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, so nothing in display. It's going to be your more typical touch-based scanner. You would be used to seeing this on the rear of the device on other smartphones. A few of them have tried it on the side. Sony's doing the same. We'll see how that operates. We'll see how that works in a moment. Volume rocker above that. Power switch below there. Kind of weird that they're not both integrated into one, but I'm sure there's a good reason for it. And then another switch down here on the bottom. What is that? Is that a dedicated camera switch? That would be a nice location for it. I'm not sure. We're going to have to wait a moment to find out on that one as well. Look at that. You remove the SIM card / micro SD expansion tray without a tool. What a bonus that is. All right, before I boot up the device, let's take a look at the rest of the contents of the package. We have a little bit of paperwork, a headset with interchangeable ear tips, a microphone. Here is your power brick. What is this baby capable of? 18 watts of quick charge power. That should be sufficient for most individuals. Ooh, okay. Little vibration. It's so slim. It's so comfy. It's the ergonomics of a small size phone with the screen of a big size phone. This feels like a Pixel 3 that just keeps going. The screen looks incredible. It's way more pixels than my eyes could ever possibly discern. Will, can we get the pixel density on this? 643 PPI according to Will Do. All right, here we go. We're going to test the fingerprint. It's on the side. It's kind of it's a different location. So how's it gonna do? How's it gonna fare? So fingerprint unlock on the side is definitely not the fastest. It feels a bit faster when you first press the power switch. If you don't press the power switch, it takes a second. I don't mind having it on the side. I just wish it was a bit snappier. Maybe I can turn off the animation. Go into the settings. I mean, it's very stock-ish. They didn't get out of hand. They didn't get wild. They're like, all right, Android, it's pretty good. We don't want to do too much, so it's almost pixel-esque. They just didn't mess with it that much. I mean, I see a couple things that seem extra. Cinema Pro. Wow. It is an advanced 21:9 video capture, which is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen on a smartphone. I mean, it's got a real pro vibe to it. Audio levels, you have HDR options, codec you're shooting in, H.265, battery level, it's a focal length, ISO, shutter speed, white balance, daylight selection, manual focus. I mean, it's not unwanted. It's cool. It's exclusive. It's in line with their DNA. I can live with that. You can launch the camera quickly, swiftly, lift your device in landscape mode, aim the camera, and it'll be launched automatically. Okay, that's cool. Side sense. You can take a photo or video by simply double tapping the sensor on the side of the screen. I guess they mean the fingerprint sensor. Okay, cool, got it. Oh, this is a shutter button. That's way cooler. This, holding it like this, they thought about the ergonomics. You hold it as a human would hold a camera, and it has the half shutter press for focus. Half down, get the green, boom, pop the shutter. So simple. It's a bit ridiculous. Like, you could just tap the screen, Lou, relax, or you could use some other button. A lot of phones use the volume down, but I don't want a double function button. You know, you see everybody, like this? The claws? No. Humans. Boom. So here we go. Wide, zoom, standard, zoom, wide. I mean, it's pretty much what you want. Let's watch a little video. 16:9 content, you're gonna get black bars. It's YouTube, so you can zoom in. Actually, not so bad. The crop works completely fine. And let's get a sense for the audio performance here real quick.
From Apple themselves.
Now, there's another weird icon over there. Dynamic vibration. It's like a boost of some kind. But now, if I click on the Dolby Atmos, there's a few modes in there by default. Dynamic attempts to identify the type of content and then make the adjustment, but you also have movie, music, custom. I'll leave it on dynamic. I think that's how most people will use it. Whoa, that is so weird. It was like a harmony. I think that might be better for music, to be honest. It's an odd experience. It's harmonized, so it's like slightly, the enhancement is slightly off. You can pick it up. Now, as far as the speaker's concerned,
from ET News says that
it's your typical implementation. Most of the sound comes out of the bottom unit, the main speaker grill, and a little bit of high end out of the earpiece.
Generation flexible OLED, which requires a very specific Samsung goes and creates
components
this
that make their way
capable
into
of
other brands' smartphones. Probably none more so than Apple's smartphones. Apple
producing 100 million OLED iPhone screens each year.
I would say volume is kind of comparable between two. This is the OnePlus 7 Pro, by the way, but I feel like there's a little bit more low-end presence on the OnePlus when it comes to dialogue. Let's do a quick music test. Do you want to see that comparison real quick? Look at this. So that's the OnePlus, and look at how much skinnier. I mean, maybe it doesn't seem substantial to you looking at that, but this is the tough part to reach with your hand when you're trying to reach the far end of the screen. I'd say the OnePlus has the most bass. The iPhone has the most clarity. This one is the most high. I will put these two closer together. This one's below that. I don't find it to be particularly offensive. The thing is, it does change quite a bit when you go in there and tweak the Dolby settings. I mean, this is with Dolby off now, but out of the box, I'd say it's not quite as pleasing as these two other models. But let's see if we can find a 4K 21:9 video. Whoa. I don't know if it's gonna come through on camera. I feel like I have to bring it closer to you, Jack, for you to really get the right amount of detail. This is gonna be one of the best video watching experiences on a phone. For a lot of people that are on the go, you end up consuming a lot of content on your smartphone natively. It's just hard to imagine a better experience than this. So there it is, Xperia 1 from Sony. Finally, a Sony device in the studio, and let alone like the most requested. Good on Sony for creating a device that's captured the attention of you guys. There's some things that for me are promising right out of the box. I mean, the display is obviously beautiful. OLED, all those pixels. Unusual aspect ratio. I like the dedicated switch for the cameras, which I'm gonna try out more I'm a little skeptical of the battery life, though I will look into that also. I like the purple color somehow. I didn't expect that. I'm going to pop my SIM card in here very shortly, get to the bottom of it. But good on Sony for sticking around and at least capturing your guys' attention up until now. We'll see how it pans out.